Zed, the Master of Shadows, the evil power-obsessed ninja who killed his master after getting drunk on power. Or so one would think if they didn't pay attention to the small details. This theory is on a big scale, so you'll have to be patient while I collect bits of information from different parts of the lore. First off, we have the theory's focus, Zed. Zed's story tells us how he was an orphan who was picked up by Great Master Kusho of the Kinko Order. The boy showed promise and was one of the master's best students, right next to Shen, the master's son. Zed did not like the fact that his matches with Shen always ended in a draw. He wanted to win. He wanted to be the one receiving praise from the master. The boy remembered that their temple had a sealed area in it. He ventured into it looking for an advantage and stumbled across a sealed box. Curious, the boy opened the box, causing shadows from the box to touch his mind and reveal techniques he never knew. After acquiring his new technique, Zed challenged Shen and defeated him. He expected praise from his master, but Master Kusho somehow knew Zed had used forbidden ways and banished him. Feeling humiliated, Zed taught the shadow techniques to his followers, but he knew that without that box, his technique will never be complete. After seeing that his students were now an army, he led them back to the Kinko temple. But when they arrived, the master welcomed them as guests. The old man laid his sword at Zed's feet, declaring that he had failed Zed as his master. By banishing his former student, the master had doomed Zed to the shadows, instead of leading him to the balanced path. The old man implored Zed to enter the temple, destroy the box, and lead his followers to balance. The dark ninja followed the master inside. Moments later, the assembled ninjas heard Zed cry out in pain. Mysteriously, he emerged unscathed and threw the severed head of the master at Shen's feet. Screaming in rage, Zed commanded his followers to slaughter the master's students and seize the box. That's pretty much Zed's lore. Now what we want to pay attention to are certain points. First thing, the Kinko is the definition of balance. The temple teaches complete neutrality. They aren't evil, but they aren't good either. In fact, if it's to keep the balance, they can do what you would consider evil. But then again, good and evil are simply a matter of perspective. What seems evil to you might seem completely good to someone else. A few question marks on Zed's lore go as follows. Why is there a sealed box in the temple? Why did the master banish him first only to welcome him later? Why did he insist that Zed destroys the box? What happened inside? Why was it Zed who cried out in pain? I'm sure many questions haunt your mind. I'll answer them for you, one by one. The Kinko are the true neutral. They exist to enforce neutrality and balance in the world. Too much chaos? Time to fight for peace. Spirits are running wild and killing humans? Time to go spirit hunting. But guess what? It works the other way around as well. If there are too many humans running around slaughtering spirits, the Kinko will, without a doubt, murder the humans doing this, even if all of the spirits are evil. Because good and evil are two sides of the same coin. Having too much good is the same as having too much bad, because in the end, it's a matter of perspective, as Master Kusho explained. When Zed first reached out for the sealed box, he only acquired some of the techniques, nothing else. He was nothing but a naive youth. And if you look at Jin's story, when the master finally captured Jin, Zed found it absolutely absurd that he did not kill him, proving that Zed is driven by his sense of justice. Riot writers are sneaky. Zed's lore states that the master somehow knew that Zed used forbidden arts, and we'll get into that in a moment. Be patient. Remember the project skins and the cinematic released along with them? That's where this theory's core lies. Project E keeps having illusions of a burning village and a large shadowy samurai figure. It haunts him throughout the whole video, until an amusing thing happens. The samurai figure blends in with Zed's stance with Zed's movements and with his attacks. If you watched my skinships video, you should have a general idea about how skins work in League of Legends. Project Yi is not the Master Yi we all know. When Yi and Fiora get out of the lab Yi was in, we get a sight of a futuristic city, which extremely resembles Japanese and Chinese cities at night. There are even letters similar to kanji alphabet on the screens. And as many of you know, the place mostly driven by Asian culture in Runeterra is Ionia. Seeing how Ionia is driven by old Asian culture, it's only natural for them to evolve into the Asian buildings we see today, since Project Overdrive is set in a futuristic Runeterra. Project Yi was created in this futuristic world to revive the Wuju arts and use them for themselves. The vessel used is Master Yi's body, hence sharing the same body shape as Yi. But the memories aren't those of Yi alone. You can notice that by hearing things Master Yi wouldn't normally say.
A darkness lurks within me.
The memories inside Master Yi's head don't belong to him only, but also to those of other Wuju masters who perfected this art over the years.
Do not trust corrupted memories. These are not my thoughts.
The reason he calls them corrupted is because the feelings of those memories are also transmitting into him, not allowing him to gain peace of mind, but driving him through anger and the thirst for blood.
Submit or die. Choice is your right. Perfection can be achieved.
The strongest memory existing inside of Yi is that of an old Wuju master, perhaps even their Grand Master, who existed at the time of the shadowy samurai figure. In the beginning of the cinematic, he envisions himself on the ground, and the shadowy figure looking him straight in his eyes. Those are the memories of the old master's last moments.
Have I died? Memories, like shadows in the fog. There were others. We are memories, deleted. The voice of a stranger echoes in my mind.
The only time when Yi rids himself off of these thoughts and false memories is when he becomes one with the Wuju art, which is basically when he goes into Highlander mood, his in-game R.
My mind is free. My name is Yi. A spirit cannot be engineered. We are more than our vessels. We are not meant to grasp eternity.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this explanation. The only thing we needed from here was for me to prove to you that the memories of the shadowy figure aren't those of Yi, but are those of someone much older. Now let's go back to the point where I mentioned how Riot writers are sneaky, and that they explained how Master Kusho somehow knew that Zed used the shadow arts. Some of you might already be seeing where this is going, but worry not, it's not the end. In Zed's lore, it is stated that he is the first in 200 years to unlock the ancient forbidden arts. Now to us, 200 years seems like a very long time, but it really isn't. Not for the Kinko order. The master knew of the shadow arts. He knew what they looked like, and what they were from tales told to him. The shadowy box is kept inside the temple for one reason only: chaos. When there's too much peace in the world, chaos must happen in order to keep the balance between peace and chaos stable. There was a time, 200 years ago, when peace was overriding chaos, so the Kinko Order acted, releasing the man you see in Project Overdrive on the people, destroying and causing chaos in Ionia. But they did not exactly release him, they simply let one of their own on the secrets of the sealed box, giving him the same techniques Zed acquired, hence why he has the same movements as Zed in Project Overdrive. The same shadowy figure was the one who killed the Wuju master who Project Yi has memories of. The Shadow Samurai was then stopped by Ionian forces and they regained peace. Slowly but surely, balance was steady. Of course, by stopped, I mean he was killed. Keep in mind that the sealed temple is secret to anyone else. The samurai wasn't evil, he was a volunteer from the Kinko who decided to play the role of the villain in order to cause chaos, which would restore balance between peace and chaos. And that is the dark truth behind the box. Master Kusho didn't like the way they used to enforce chaos. He did not like the fact that they had to sacrifice one of their own for balance. And that is why, in Jin's story, he decided to lock him up instead of killing him, because Jin could be used as a trigger for chaos to start, should there ever be too much peace. However, after he realized that Zed discovered the shadow techniques, he banished him. The reason for that was for Zed to experience what it was like to live a rejected life, to be the bad guy in the story. After Master Kusho saw Zed coming back to him, stronger than ever, he decided that Zed was right for the position. You see, after a person's mind was revealed to the shadow, there's no going back. There's no way for them to stride away from that path.
What I have done cannot be undone.
The reason Kusho took only Zed with him into the temple was to show him the truth behind the order and how they created the same wars they stopped. Zed was, of course, surprised, but that wasn't what caused him to scream. Remember that Zed's scream was a painful one. When there's too much peace in a place, people relax and everything becomes imbalanced. That doesn't happen to the world only, but also to the Kinko temple itself. Basically, it was time to cause chaos in the temple, to maintain the Kinko order's own balance. After Zed was given the knowledge of the box, the master asked him to start chaos. Once more, the master truly didn't want it to end this way, but everything is for the sake of the world balance. Master Kusho gave Zed the mission of becoming chaos. Zed might have disliked his master's decisions, but he always wanted to impress him. Deep inside, Zed still loved his master. And the first step of becoming the embodiment of chaos in the Kinko temple was, of course, to kill the leader of the order, Master Kusho. Zed cried out in pain as he had to kill his own master, a man who took him under his wing and taught him everything he knows, a man he considered his father. Master Kusho already knew who would lead the force against chaos, and that would be Shen, which is basically what he told Zed before the student killed him. And that was why Zed, as soon as he walked out of the temple, threw the master's head at Shen's feet, in order to give Shen purpose, to make his fury drive him to establish the Kinko order, and to utterly destroy Zed, destroying chaos in the process, and regaining peace. Because balancing the universe is like balancing a stick on your hand. If it starts falling right, you give more weight to the left side and vice versa. It's not something that can exist forever. Every now and then, war must happen, and then it must be stopped, then it must happen again. And this time, it's Zed's turn to start a war as the master of the shadows. In Jin's story, the reason Zed still wants to kill Jin is because Zed is now trusted with the mission of chaos, so there is no longer any use of Jin for the Kinko order. Zed's existence and his provocations to Shen are all a part of a test in order to forge Shen into the ultimate neutral warrior, to give him nerves of steel, to give him the ability to deny emotions when faced with duty. Because the balance of the physical and the spirit realms are now on Shen's shoulders, he is to be the future Grand Master of the Kinko Order. He will be the face of the Order, to make people believe that the Order is, in fact, good. All of it is done to cover the truth of the Order. What do you think people would do if they found out how the Order truly operates? They would destroy it completely, and then balance will be lost forever. And that's what the elders of the Kinko, including Master Kusho and now Zed, are hiding from the public. The image given to the public is the same as the one given to us. Everyone believes Zed is an evil power-drunk ninja, when in reality, he is the true hero who took it upon himself to live a villain and die a villain, for what's best for the universe.